Whether you're trying Dota out for the first time, or you have hundreds to even thousands of hours in the game, learning a new role can be an extremely daunting and difficult task. But by picking select heroes, depending on what role you're actually trying to learn, can make the learning process much quicker and more fun. Now, that statement I just made is something that pretty much every player who's played the game for a while would completely agree with, and a vast majority of those people are also going to be able to give you a long list of heroes that are really bad to learn new roles on, and that's good to know and all, but the big question here is, what are actually the good heroes to learn new roles on? Carry is one of the hardest positions for new players to learn because of the farming concepts in Dota being somewhat counterintuitive from time to time, so I suggest picking up something that has a consistent item build and has some kind of built-in damage boosting spells that will help you stay strong even if you're a little bit behind. And the last key thing here is I think picking a hero that is okay participating in fights early on is going to be a big advantage. Because of all this, I think the perfect hero is going to be Juggernaut. This is a carry that can get off to a fantastic start due to how strong he is in lane. You also will have a very easy time farming due to having sustain from Healing Ward, and finally you're very useful in fights even at an early point in the game. Besides Jug, Sven and Wraith King are also fantastic choices. For advanced players, I suggest picking heroes that are maybe not as strong in lane, but are good at active farming, meaning somebody that's a fast farmer who likes to participate in the game after just a couple items. The hero at the top of this list for me is Phantom Assassin. I think PA is the pinnacle of active carries based on her abilities alone. You do have a few viable item builds, which lets you play in a variety of ways based on what you want to do or what the game demands. You can play solo or group up with your team at any point, and you are probably the best physical burst hero in the game. I think all of this, mixed with her pretty straightforward execution in fights, makes her great for learning how to play carry. If PA isn't quite your speed, I think Luna and Slark are also great choices. If you're a new player looking to play mid, I suggest sticking to something that has some high damage spells and some way to secure last hits besides just auto-attacking, and also something that has a clear role on the team. I think your best bet here is to start off by trying Death Prophet. You're tankier than most other spellcasting mids. You have a great high damage spell in Crypt Swarm that will help you in lane, harass, and get creeps. Spirit Siphon also helps you survive any aggression that you might see, and then your ulti gives you a great and easy tool to use in teamfights and tower pushing. Other than Death Prophet, I would suggest checking out Zeus or Viper. For more experienced players, I suggest starting off with something that has some good snowball potential and has a strong and oppressive laning stage. I would say that Queen of Pain is kind of the perfect fit for this. You win or go even on the vast majority of matchups that you're going to see. You have very straightforward ganking timings and can snowball to a point where you can single-handedly win games. Outside of QoP, I would suggest picking Puck or Void Spirit. Quick aside here before we continue, if you are enjoying this video, I would really appreciate if you took just 1 second to leave a like on it. If you guys enjoy this style of video, I can make more like it, and leaving a like is a great way to let me know that you want more of this style of content. Also, if you're there, you might want to consider subscribing so you know when my next videos come out. For offlane, I suggest that newer players pick up something that is pretty foolproof in lane, and can also act as sort of the frontliner for your team that everybody can follow behind. Dragon Knight is my first pick for this job. Your laning stage is very easy thanks to Dragon's Blood health regen and having Dragon's Breath for the damage reduction on enemies. After lane, you have a fantastic stun, great tower pushing. All around, I think DK might just be the perfect hero to learn Dota on in general, so when we're talking about offlane specifically, I think this is a no-brainer. But if you do still want other choices for offlane, I would suggest either looking at Centaur Warrunner or Bristleback. For everyone who has more experience in the game, I think Mars is the ideal place to start. This hero fits into every lineup and will be solid throughout the entirety of the game. I think the key for all three of my suggestions here are going to be the ability to be the center of your team, and with Mars, you're really going to be that heart of your team. Between your fantastic initiation tool, teamfight abilities, crowd control, your team really functions around what you do. On top of that, you have the ability to go very offensive or very defensive, or sort of a hybrid, depending on your build. Other heroes that kind of fit the bill for this would be Underlord or Timbersaw. If you're looking to play soft support, also known as position 4, as a new player, I think your best bet is to look for a hero that excels at being active and helping your team get kills. Spirit Breaker is my top choice for this job. You have a spell that allows you to set up kills anywhere on the map at any time, plus you're tanky enough to live through a lot of the ganks that you set up, even if you mess up a little bit. There isn't really any hero better at making kills happen than Spirit Breaker. If you want some more options, Snapfire and Jakiro will also get the job done in this position. For more experienced players, I still suggest picking something that sets up kills, but I think that you should focus more on trying to dominate the lane and getting your 3 and yourself off to a good start. My top pick for this is Marcy. You offer so much mobility and lockdown that if you pair yourself with a strong offlaner, you're going to have a great time in the vast majority of lanes. You're also amazing at pairing up with another hero and just hunting for kills all mid-game long. On top of all this, your ulti gives you great potential to scale into a somewhat semi-carry if you do get a good start. Some other great choices would be Clockwork and Hoodwink. When looking at position 5s for new players, I think that heroes with simple spells that have strong laning phases and a lot of utility are your best bet. Lich is my top pick for this role. You have great offense and defensive tools in lane, a strong lockdown spell, and a high impact ult that can do huge damage. The skill build and item builds on Lich are also pretty straightforward and can be copied from game to game. If Lich doesn't sound like fun to you, my other suggestions would be something like Crystal Maiden or Ogre Magi. For more advanced players, I think Grimstroke is a great place to start. I think heroes that enable their teammates are your best bet to learn position 5 if you're already familiar with the game. With proper positioning and spell usage, you can have massive impact on every game off Grimstroke. You also have a good farming tool, which can be frustrating to not have when you're not used to playing support. Other than Grimstroke, I would suggest Lion or Winter Wyvern. So there's many more heroes that are great for learning, but these are just my top picks. If you have some that you think I missed, leave those in the comments below. While you're here, why not watch some other videos that I've made? Those are on screen right now. That's all I got. Thanks.